Jeb Bush wrote a hilarious op-ed in the Washington Post about Donald Trump and the future of the Republican Party. And he has an interesting scapegoat for the rise of Donald Trump. So he says, called a tipping point, a time of choosing or testing, whatever you call it, it is clear that this election will have far-reaching consequences for both the Republican Party and our exceptional country. While he has no doubt tapped into the anxiety so prevalent in the United States today, I do not believe Donald Trump reflects the principles or inclusive legacy of the Republican Party, and I sincerely hope he doesn't represent its future. As much as I reject Donald Trump as our party leader, he did not create the political culture of the United States on his own. 8 years of the divisive tactics of President Obama and his allies have undermined Americans' faith in politics and government to accomplish anything constructive. In turn, a few in the Republican Party responded by trying to out-polarize the president, making us seem anti-immigrant. He says making us seem anti-immigrant, anti-woman, anti-science, anti-gay, anti-worker, and anti-common sense. Will allow me to respond very briefly to Jeb Bush. You don't seem those things. You indeed are anti-immigrant, anti-woman, anti-science, anti-gay, anti-worker, and anti-common sense. That's what you are. Trump just picked his VP, and it's Mike Pence. Mike Pence wrote articles about how smoking doesn't kill. He doesn't believe in evolution. He thinks creationism is real. He doesn't believe in climate change. Yeah, you're very clearly anti-common sense, anti-science, anti-gay. He's known for signing the anti-LGBT law, which solidifies that businesses can kick people out if they're gay or fire them if they're gay. Who the fuck are you kidding? And I love how they pretend like, oh, well, everything's just in response because Obama's so bad. He's so polarizing that then people try to out-polarize him. Excuse me? Your fucking brother drove the country off a cliff. He did an offensive war against a country that didn't attack us. It cost trillions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of civilians are dead, set up a worldwide torture regime, set up an extrajudicial prison in Gitmo, where innocent people were held and tortured, by the way, shredded the Constitution, set up the NSA spying apparatus, which takes away our Fourth Amendment rights, and then you have the nerve to say, fucking Democrats, they're so polarizing, aren't they? What about you guys? There was a fucking economic crash under you guys because of your shitty deregulation. He's like, goddamn Democrats. They're so extreme. They're so extreme. And by the way, look at what the Republicans did under Obama. Obama's proposed their ideas time and time again. He cut small business taxes over a dozen times. He did Obamacare, which was originally a right-wing idea. That's Richard Nixon's plan. That's the Heritage Foundation's plan, a right-wing think tank. He proposes their policies. How do they respond? They literally broke the filibuster record and tried to repeal Obamacare, again, their original idea, over 60 times. And again, he has the nerve to say, Obama, oh my God, he's so polarizing. He's not polarizing. He agrees with you on a sad high percentage of things to the point where people like me get super pissed at him. But look, I'm actually going to throw a weird curveball at you here. So obviously he's wrong about his breakdown of Democrats versus Republicans and polarization and yada, yada, yada. You guys actually are that stupid and you are that crazy, okay? But in a weird way, blaming Obama for the rise of Trump is somewhat right. But it's only right in the sense that it's also right about George W. Bush and it's also right about you, Jeb Bush, because Donald Trump is where people are going as a backlash to the establishment. And Obama's establishment, your brother's establishment, and all the corporatist shills in both parties are establishment. So you know who you can blame for the rise of Trump? You. Look in the mirror. Because your dumbass comes along and you did it in the debates. And what did you say? We got to be smart about this and we got to reform Social Security and we got to reform Medicare and Medicaid. And by the way, what are these code words for? Cut, privatize. And, that's what we got to do. We got to be serious about stuff like this. And we also got to do more war. We got to get more involved in Syria. So you come along and you keep serving the military-industrial complex. You keep serving your donors on Wall Street. You keep telling the American people, I am going to fuck you over. I am going to cut your entitlements, which, by the way, are not really entitlements. They're earned benefits. You pay into the system, you get out of the system. They want you to pay in and then get your shit cut. So they want to rob you. So he comes along and he says that, yeah, I'm going to rob you and I want to go to more war. I don't want to spend our resources here. You left the door wide open for a demagogue like Trump to come through, pretend like he cares about not doing the free trade deals anymore, which you fucking favor. Pretend like he cares about not cutting Social Security. Pretend like he cares about not cutting Medicare, and then also give a heavy dose of dropping your coded racism and just doing outright racism and bigotry. And then you go, well, gee, what happened? Well, you fucking left the door open by being so disconnected from the economic needs of the people. So that a guy like this can come in, just pretend to give a shit about the people, and then they go, yeah, I'm going to go for him. And then you're like, oh, well, I don't get it, but I told you I was going to cut your benefits. Why wouldn't you vote for me? I told you I want to do more war and have your kids die in unnecessary wars. Why wouldn't you want to vote for me? Yeah, you guys are the problem. So in a weird way, yeah, it is, at least to an extent, Obama's fault, because Obama does represent the establishment, and this is a backlash against the establishment. So yes, the Republican Party is more crazy. The Republican Party has been anti-woman, anti-immigrant, anti-science, anti-gay, anti-worker, anti-common sense. All that's true. But it is also true that it's just the establishment's fault. Because you've been so bad for so long that people actually looked at Trump and said, maybe